Welcome to the Basket Buds edition of the Athletic NBA Show podcast on the Athletic Podcast Network. I'm your host, Zach Harper. This is the show with Josh Hustis and Jay King. We got Dave DeFord producing and Andrew Schleck producing. And we've got the Hot Take Safe Zone, maybe holiday edition, depends on what these hot takes are going to be. Plus, we will plant our flags on 7 very controversial topics throughout this show. Also, make sure you're checking out once we get to Christmas Day, our Christmas Day preview. You can get all of that right here on the Athletic NBA Show podcast YouTube page. Subscribe, click that thumbs up, leave a nice comment, leave a rude comment. Just make sure that you subscribe and leave the thumbs up, and I don't really care what you do after that. Also, subscribe to The Bounce, theathletic.com/The Bounce, our free NBA newsletter that you get Monday through Friday, let's say around 10 or 11 a.m. Eastern. You can figure out the rest of the time zones and subscribe to The Athletic, the best coverage of sports on the internet. Guys, we are in the holiday season. We have a lot of action going on. We still have the Pistons losing. They haven't stopped. They're at 23 straight losses.
Good.
We've got the Timberwolves playing great basketball. We've got the Pelicans on the rise. We've got the Clippers really playing some good basketball. Sixers are playing the Pistons every day, so they're playing good basketball. But let's get into the Hot Take Safe Zone. For those who are unaware, the Hot Take Safe Zone, this is primarily just to bug Jay. It's something we have poached from what Amin El-Hassan and I do at NBA Radio on Sirius XM, where you get a hot take. The other people are not allowed to combat it, not allowed to deny it. We have to accept it. We can ask some questions for clarification, but the Hot Take Safe Zone is a safe zone for all of your hot takes. And so, Jay, I know you have something really special cooked up for us, so we'll start with Josh. Josh, it could be holiday edition.
So disrespectful
it could be for the season, whatever you want. But what is your hot take for the Hot Take Safe Zone?
I'm starting us off with a Christmas hot take.
Okay.
I'm going with that
Christmas
presents should be opened on Christmas Eve, not
Whoa.
Christmas morning.
Okay.
Do you feel strongly about this? What's wrong with the Christmas day?
I was in my family. We always
did
did the
tone
Christmas
on these questions, Jay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Can
yeah,
we?
like, this is a safe zone.
Already with this shit.
Yeah.
You just ooze judgment, Jay. That's what we did in my family, and from a parent standpoint, I think it's the way to go, because then you get the sleeping in the next day. You don't get the kids jumping on the bed screaming for their presents.
That's a good call. Yeah.
In the morning, you get the presents in the evening. You get that out of the way. They know what they got. Then the next morning, everybody sleeps in, has an easy morning. Presents are still there. And then, everybody starts the day off at a reasonable time, not at 4 a.m. with the kids jumping around looking for presents and screaming at you.
Yeah.
That's my hot take, man, because that's what we did. We would do the Christmas lights. We would drive around, look at Christmas lights, and then we would go home, and magically, while we were gone, Santa had delivered our presents while we were looking around. We were very special. We got them early release Christmas presents.
Let me ask this. It's not so much about the hot take, because I don't hate this idea. I kind of like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always someone we did one present on Christmas Eve and the rest on Christmas morning, but all of them on Christmas Eve. That sounds good to me. When you're driving around checking out all the Christmas lights in Montana, you're getting what, 4 houses? 5 houses?
Yeah, it was, but here's the thing, is because the houses were 5-10 miles apart from each other.
Yeah.
We would hit 4 houses.
Take a long time.
It would take 45 minutes.
I can't argue with this take, right? So I'm just going to ask questions.
There we go.
Are you concerned that this is a selfish take and that the kids are actually the victims?
Leading question. Don't like stricken from the record. I don't know.
No, you're taking away the greatest night of anticipation in a child's year.
Okay,
just so you can sleep in the morning.
Yeah, it is selfish, and I'm okay with that, because
that's fine.
The parents have spent however many hundreds of dollars. Exactly. What does the kid care?
Yeah, you're giving presents.
What does the kid care? I mean, I get the whole, I'm excited, it's Christmas morning, everybody's psyched. Are the parents actually
wake
psyched?
Up for the
I don't want my
Christmas
kids.
Day parade.
I don't want my
Here we go. Here comes the Adam Sandler.
No, this is a safe zone. There's no
excited.
Jay,
most excited they've ever
I
been.
would like to file
Jay's on the
formal
in
complaint
danger
about a
of
hostile
losing
work
his
environment.
You're in danger of losing your take in the hot take safe
Teach
zone.
him a lesson. Teach him a lesson. He is the Draymond Green of this podcast. He has been
Oh
let
my God.
too many things let
Needs
slide.
counseling.
Something's wrong with him. I hope he gets the help he needs.
I hope that brother gets help. I like this. I like this idea of the tradition. I obviously love the idea of sleeping in. That's the most important part to me.
Yeah, let's make it about the parents.
We should. Why doesn't it get to be about the parents?
Let's make this totally
Their Christmas
fake,
too.
totally fake.
What is
Santa
going
thing.
on?
Kids are still.
What is
kids
going
are still.
on?
I don't know.
Did the whole rules of this segment change all of a sudden?
They sure did, because Jay doesn't get his hot take now. My hot
No,
take
that can't happen. No, no.
Actions have consequences.
My hot take for Christmas: the
Adam
meal.
Silver's coming down hard.
The meal shouldn't be like ham or turkey or anything. It should be fried chicken. That should be the meal. Fried chicken. Like I want like a southern ass like meal for Christmas Day. That's what it should be.
Where does this come from?
Well, my dad makes really good fried chicken. He's from the South.
Okay.
Makes really good fried chicken. And we used to do it on New Year's Day, where he'd make fried chicken and collard greens and black-eyed peas and all stuff and watch all the bowl games. And, that was like our tradition. I want that moved up to Christmas Day. Like ham's fine, but I'm not like, if I go without ham, I'm good. Turkey,
my
kind of overrated.
View
of
who you
ham
are
and turkey are both
changed.
Because I like fried chicken?
Well, no, you just mentioned the meal that you grew up eating was fried chicken, collard greens.
Yeah. And
black-eyed
peas.
Can we be like, let's,
My dad's from Georgia. What do you want? My dad.
Something else about your dad we need to know?
No, he's one of the good ones, actually. No, I've got some racist ass family members from his side, but he's not one of them.
Oh man, you and Jay are related?
No, my dad wasn't out here going, who's really good? that Christian Leitner. I like the cut of his jib. No, my dad never was like that. My dad actually hated Christian Leitner. Yeah, no, man. I'm here for changing holiday traditions. They're stuck
I'm all
in the
for it,
past.
man. Make your own traditions, right? Make your own.
Yeah. Jay, you have any mocking questions for me on that? Oh,
no, that's a totally fine take. I appreciate both of your takes.
Okay,
actually.
you get your take back.
Oh, an overcorrection here.
Do these have to be Christmas takes? I thought we were giving NBA.
It can be whatever you want.
Did you not read the group chat?
I read the group chat. Then you guys threw me off a little bit. I got two. The Blazers with Anthony Simons are fun. That is a fun team. Anthony Simons is good. They play hard. They've got wings who defend and just want to just get after it. I'm into the Blazers experience now that Anthony Simons is healthy. And two, relegation needs to happen. We need to be able to punt the bottom teams out of the NBA. There needs to be a system to get that teams just get punished. You can't have Pistons, Wizards, and Spurs. You can't have those three teams. The Wizards, there is no chance the Wizards should be the third worst team in the NBA. They should be in
just to let
league.
people know, this is the worst bottom three in NBA history right now. If this holds for the season, it is. Like in terms of, I looked this up. There were like 8 years. There have been 8 seasons where at least 3 teams finished with fewer than 20 wins. And this one, they're the least competitive. Their margin of defeat is the highest, averaged out.
Pistons are on pace to win less than 5 games.
The Pistons net
they're
rating,
on pace to at this point. They're on pace to go 2-80.
Their net rating in December is -20.
That's crazy.
So what would be your solution?
Yeah. So where do they go? They go to the
Where
G
do
League.
they
I don't
go?
care.
They
I
go to
don't care
college?
where they go.
Just
I don't
away.
care if they go to G League. I don't care if they have to play in the ACC next year. I don't care.
This is how we found out that
Just
Buddy
get him out
Boeheim's
of
not
the
on a
NBA.
two-way with the
What's
Pistons.
crazy about it though is it's not even like there's a Wembanyama this year. Like they are tanking in a year where there is no real carrot to be this bad.
There's still some good players though.
Of course, but it's
Also,
not like you're tanking for a generational prospect.
They're not like the Pistons aren't tanking. They just suck.
Right.
They just suck.
I don't think the Spurs are the Spurs are experimenting, but they're not. They're experimenting. Right?
Yeah, but they're not focused on winning. They're focused on development.
Fair.
Right?
The Wizards.
The Wizards are
the
taking.
Wizards.
Oh,
Can you
Man.
even call it that?
I think the Wizards thought
they
they
are
were going to be
taking with
like
flair.
the Jazz of last year. You know, I think they thought they were going to like be good early on and then like fade off into the distance.
But
And
they
my
couldn't
God.
have thought Jordan Poole would be this bad. They could not.
Nobody could have.
funny,
Nobody
though,
could
man.
have.
It would go this
It's
poorly.
funny though.
Yeah, they are
He
entertaining.
created his own blooper
Right.
by flopping on that 3-point shot.
Like
Getting
it
the ball
hurts
back
to
in-
watch. It hurts to watch the Pistons. It hurts to watch the Spurs. Is it kind of fun watching the Wizards and just wondering and waiting for that next?
What's the next thing? Yeah,
What's the next thing?
yeah. I'm with you.
The 3 Poole dunk when they were down 4 late against the Suns was abominable.
Oh my God.
It was like it was like he'd never even played basketball before in his life. Didn't even try to get
Yeah.
on balance. Like just
Part of the Spurs games are fun.
just flung one up.
Like the Spurs are fun until they let go of the rope, right? Like the Pistons
Mhm.
just suck the whole time. But the Spurs like usually put up a fight in the first quarter, maybe
For sure.
at halftime it's
They look
okay.
decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they
have
after
stretches.
halftime. I don't know what Pop's doing in there, but he's not coaching. I don't know what
Hey,
he's
guys.
doing at halftime.
Let's back
It's
off
just-
a little bit.
It's just bad. But
Yeah,
the
oof.
Wizards, God, the Wizards are so
funny.
much fun.
The Pistons are so bad. I have no idea how to evaluate Cade Cunningham. No clue.
I'll tell you,
Because
I'm out.
you can be out, but just be out well knowing that he is playing next to in a starting lineup that also includes Killian Hayes, Isaiah Stewart, and just disgusting shooters everywhere. Oscar Thompson, like how do you have space?
Oscar's
to
the only
operate?
player I like on that team. Well, I like Duran too.
I
but
like him
he's the
too,
only player.
but just from a standpoint of like learning how to navigate as a creator ball handler doesn't make it easier to have Oscar next to you.
Sure. Maybe make a layup though.
Would be
Does that impact Cade? Where he can't make a layup? Like he's I don't know. He definitely needs better teammates before we can truly evaluate him. I just feel like I know where that's going. All right, I'm gonna give a basketball one before we move on to plant your flag. NBA Finals. It's June. It's July. No, June. June 2nd, right? That's usually when it starts. Say June 2nd. We are going to have media from Los Angeles and media from Miami because it's Clippers Heat, baby. Clippers Heat. Jay?
You're back on board.
Clippers Heat.
I'm back on board. I don't know that I think the Clippers are any good, but the only thing that's fueling me on this is Kawhi hasn't missed a game. And I'm here for healthy Kawhi. I believe in healthy Kawhi over most things. And then the Heat it would really piss Jay off.
You love the Heat.
I love the Heat.
No,
I
you
love
don't.
watching the Heat play.
No, you don't.
I just
You
severely
call them
underrate
bums.
them every year.
You call them bums every year.
That's all. I just severely underrate them. That's it. I have a blind spot because they try their hardest to get people out on them for stretches of every season.
Yeah, it's the old switcheroo.
It convinces me every time.
It's the old switcheroo. They're brilliant at it.
But they got Hawkes now.
Oh, he's good. And someday
He's
you
so
might
good.
even learn how to spell his name.
Yeah, that's a tough.
Just
one.
a PSA out there. There's no C in Hawkes.
I can't get it through my head though.
All right, let's move on to plant your flag. So we will celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. Right, Jay?
Yeah. I want to hear him
Hot
say
Safe
it.
Zone.
I want to
All
hear him say it.
presents. Yeah, say it. When
You
are we
can
celebrating Christmas?
You can celebrate Christmas whenever you want.
No, I don't like that.
Disingenuous.
Yeah, very disingenuous.
Please feel free to celebrate the holidays in your own tradition.
I don't like are you trying to do like a
I don't-
Siri voice? I don't like this.
don't
I like
this.
it better than your Adam Sandler voice, but I still don't like this. All right, let's go to plant your flag. This is the game show where we got two options and we plant our flag. on what we believe in. So, Jay King, we'll start you on this one. Plant your flag. Clippers or Lakers?
Lakers. I can't get there totally on the Clippers. They've scarred me too much in the past. James Harden has scarred me too much in the past. The Kawhi thing is interesting, though. The fact that he's playing all the time, not taking nights off, not load managing, and killing everybody is extremely promising for them. And it also gives them a chance to develop. It gives them a chance to gain continuity, gives them a chance to figure out what their rotations should be, what lineups are best. So it's just such a help for Ty Lue to have him available all the time. So, but I've just seen the Lakers play really, really solid, good basketball. LeBron is playing at an insane level. He's better than he was in the playoffs last season.
They just lost to the Spurs.
Yeah, that's true. That doesn't happen every day where the Spurs get a win.
It almost happened 2 days in a row because they almost lost to them the first game.
This is true, but
no AD.
I trust LeBron and I trust Anthony Davis's defense, and I trust just like that they're going to be functional when it matters.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that about the Clippers. I just don't.
Josh, plant your flag. Lakers or Clippers?
Clippers. I like, for everything that you mentioned about the Lakers, I feel like the Clippers have an answer. You mentioned LeBron. Like, there's Kawhi, right? They're playing well even without PG. I've been kind of surprised, like, watching them. Harden looks kind of bought in on defense.
He's had 9 blocks in his last 5 games.
That's what I'm saying. He's not necessarily a like good defender, but he looks like he's bought in. At least he's making the effort. He's closing out on guys. He's getting blocks. He's stripping the ball on shots. Like, he's moving the ball well. So, I think I got to go Clippers. And I know, Zach, I know you're on my side on this one.
Well, my curiosity with the Lakers is, what would this season look like at this point if the in-season tournament didn't exist?
Do you think the Lakers needed that motivation to win those games?
I mean, the Lakers are below 500 in non-tournament games, right?
Right.
And so I think it was smart for LeBron to establish it the way he did. I think it can lead to, guys buying in throughout the rest of the season. I also think, look, maybe he is just this healthy, but it worries me how much he's had to do. When we come into the season, the first game, it's like, ooh, we can't play him 28 minutes. And now it's like, all right, well, he's just playing 35 minutes every night and killing and going 100 miles an hour. I do worry about that a little in terms of him holding up. And then we always have to worry about AD holding up. And not like the Clippers are some bastion of health. But yeah, I have some concerns about that. Can you guys not hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I mean, yeah. No, I agree. I think that they've been putting so much on LeBron. At a certain point, man, he's gotta slow down. Right? At a certain point, he's got to.
And when he slows down, what does that look like for them?
Going back to those 28 minutes
where
they're just awful with him out on the floor.
And maybe everyone will have bought in and be motivated by the $500,000 they got and everything. Like, I'm open to that idea. It's weird to look at the two teams and it's simply like the Clippers history tells me, hey, don't expect this team to make it through healthy. Mm-hmm. And the Lakers history tells me that. And also the way the Lakers are going on the court makes me think, I don't know if they can hold this up for 82 games.
Yeah.
And the West is so competitive that if either of these teams have guys miss time for significant amounts of days, weeks, whatever, are they even guaranteed to make the play-in tournament?
Yeah.
I'll tell you
completely. Yeah.
I chose the Lakers here, but salute to Ty Lue, salute to the Clippers for not just figuring that out, but figuring out as quickly as they did. Like
Right.
that was a really tough mix.
It was all of a sudden, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where we were off them completely, and
Like,
now all of a sudden
I
we're
feel like 2 weeks ago we were all like,
got them in the
"They're
championship.
dead."
Well, just in the hot take safe zone, guys. Just in the hot take safe zone. Let's remember what that is. All right, let's go to the next one. Plant your flag. Suns or Pelicans, Josh?
This is tough, man, because if you're asking me right now, the way things are going, I'm going to go Pelicans just because of the Suns' health issues, right? We got one game with the three stars, and then the next game, almost immediately, Bradley Beal goes down with that injury. I think when you've got all three of them, I would take the Suns, but just they haven't proven that they can be healthy all at the same time right now. And the way the Pelicans are playing, like, I just have to give it to the Pelicans right now because the Suns, like I said, have not proven to me that you're going to get all three of those guys. Like, I don't know what's going, like, it's the ankle, it's his back, Beal's hurt. Whenever Beal's healthy and Booker is healthy, then KD is out. Whenever, Beal's healthy and KD are healthy, Booker's, like, it's somebody is out all the time. And so I haven't seen them complete for more than one game. So I just don't know.
Jay?
Yeah.
Suns or Pelicans?
I don't want to pick the Pelicans here, but
I agree. I don't want to, but you have to.
There's nothing about the Pelicans that makes me want to say the Pelicans here, but it's the Pelicans just because what Josh said. Like,
have you noticed that when you say the word Pelican, you kind of go into a Tony Montana thing?
I
haven't,
but I can appreciate that.
You kind of do a little bit. There's a little bit of Scarface in the way you say Pelicans.
That's
like a Scarface Adam Sandler. Like if Adam Sandler played Tony Montana.
You know what? Those are two of my favorite. Those are two of my favorite people ever. So I'm cool with that.
Drug lord Tony Montana is one of your favorite people ever?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't want to take the Pelicans.
No, I don't want to take the Pelicans, but I have to because I have no faith that Bradley Beal will be healthy. He has just had a cursed season so far, like just totally cursed.
He's missed a lot of games in his career.
Yes.
And that's a team that, like, they're not going to survive just with two of them. They're not deep enough. They don't have there's nothing else about them other than their sheer top end talent that I trust in. And if they don't have more than two of those guys, if they don't have everybody, then I just don't see it. So I'm going Pelicans, even though I don't want to. Shouts to Tony Montana.
I want to pick the Pelicans, but I'll go with the Suns. I'll just go down with the ship here. I believe in super teams. I think the way people hate super teams is stupid and corny. No one goes into
believe in super teams.
Yeah, no one goes into franchise mode in a video game. It's like, I'd like to have a nice, well-balanced team with just a lot of role. Like, no one does it. You want to get as many stars
go in there
like,
I want Grayson Allen, son.
Life is a video game, right?
Yeah. It seems like for the Suns.
What?
Yeah, right. No one does that. People want talent and as much talent as possible. One of the dumbest things we did is discuss maybe it's better to have 2 stars than 3 stars a few years ago when some reporter said that this was the trend now that teams were going for. No, if teams could have 12 stars, they would have 12 stars. Like, this is dumb.
I disagree, man.
And I
disagree.
No, they want dominance. No team wants to win a hard-fought championship. They want to coast to the championship. They want to absolutely dominate. And so I'm here for super teams. I will go down with the ship. Even though I don't believe in the Suns team at all right now, I will plant my flag on the SS Suns Titanic.
Because that ended really well.
Well, look, man, Rose got her diamond back or kept her diamond and threw it, Good for her. All right.
You wouldn't have had a good life with Jack anyway.
No, he was a street rat. Of course he would. All right, plant your flag, Josh. Jayson Tatum or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
Dude, this one is so tough because I think this just comes down to your own personal preference. Like, I don't think you can look at them statistically and be like, he's better. SGA is better than Tatum, or Tatum's better than SGA. I think it just comes to personal preference, and I just like SGA. I like the way the Thunder play. I like the way he can score at all three levels. I think he is one of, if not the hardest player in the NBA to stay in front of.
Yeah.
Like, he's just good, man. He's leading the league in steals. He scores, like I said, at all three levels. His team is good. Like, but again, like, I don't think you can just look at this statistically and pick one of them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
SGA.
It's about a feeling or a preference.
Yeah, I don't think you could just. It's not an analytical thing that you can look at and pick one. It's just, I prefer SGA. Not saying Tatum's not as good or whatever. I just prefer SGA.
Jay,
I'm going Tatum here, and
Homer.
It's just because I've never seen SGA in like big playoff series. I've never seen him like handling all those duties. I've seen Tatum go to the finals. I've seen him in the conference finals regularly.
Guys, let's get a chyron on the bottom that says Jay King doesn't believe SGA will be good in the playoffs.
No, I almost made my hot take that the Thunder are going to the finals. So,
but you didn't.
I'm very in on the Thunder. I'm very in on SGA. But to me, like, Tatum is 6'8", 6'9". He played center the other night when they were down Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis, and like the versatility there and the defense and the rebounding, I would just rather have that type of player than the point guard engine who nobody can stay in front of, even though like SGA is awesome. These are two really good players.
Who am I gonna take? I'll go Tatum. I'll take the size there. I think the forward position tends to be more important than the point guard position, just because I think the point guard position is so so congested, so saturated with talent at this point, or league guard position, whatever you want to call it. And so
4 is a difference maker for sure. If you have a good 4,
and
fair.
he can go 3, 4, 5 pretty easily, maybe even go super big with the 2. I would like Tatum to be more of a team guy, less like, stalling the offense the way he does when he plays like that. It's a no-brainer for me. But I mean, SGA is so good. he's so good. Like, he's so fun to watch in the fourth quarter of games, because it doesn't matter if he's having a good game or a bad game. You can tell there's just this switch that goes of like, all right, I'm going to kill now. We saw it with Fox last year in the fourth quarter. We see it with him. He did write some like corny like rhyme on like an Instagram comment or caption or something recently. That's the thing that knocked him out of getting
that. See,
this
you got to
selection.
nitpick.
That's how
They're
close.
Both so good.
That's how close it is. Not that Tatum doesn't do corny stuff as well, but that I didn't like it. I'm hearing now from sources that are possibly Andrew Schleck that he does it after every game. I will not follow SGA on Instagram if that's the case.
I'm sure he's real upset about that now.
So wait. I'm unfamiliar with this trend. What does he do? He puts rhymes out.
You didn't see what he did after he beat the Warriors? Like them when he was like, I'm E40 in the Bay or something like that.
That
was good, but this
Instagram
other one was like long. This other one was long recently. I think after he beat Denver, and it's just not good. It was not good.
What did he say after he beat Denver? Jay, you looking it up?
Yeah, so is this just on his story? Is this on,
or is it a
Shai
post?
Over,
it's a post every time.
Shai over, Shai under, Shai, you owe me bread because you didn't cover. Yeah. Just know who to go to when you need a bucket before the buzzer.
That's terrible.
Like, what is this?
That's like genuinely bad.
11-year-old rap notebook.
See, Tatum's not doing that. So
gotta counter for anything. I'm not missing a move. And I remember everybody in the past that tried dissing the 2. I was taught not to steal growing up, but I don't really listen to rules. That was his previous one. What's going on with this Shai Instagram?
It's terrible. Yeah, you know what? I don't think he should be eligible for any awards.
Just purely based on
that. Like, he's an amazing player, but it's ruined it for me completely. All right, next subject. Plant your flag. Team to make it further in the playoffs. Jay, is it the Sixers or the Bucks?
Bucks. Bucks. Sixers are a regular season lion.
Joel Embiid has
Mhm.
more points than minutes played right now.
Yeah, but for some reason they have
That's
been
crazy.
scheduled against all the teams that should
They
be
play
relegated.
the Pistons and the Wizards every week.
Every
Both of
single
them.
game. Every
Both of
single game. They're just playing the Wizards or the Pistons. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Or they get a Hornets every once in a while that they win by 53 points.
And I think they're a regular season lion. They're really good and really deep, and they have a lot of good players and pieces that fit next to Embiid, next to Maxey. But I just feel like when you only have two creators, playmakers, it's going to make it really tough in the playoffs. And
yeah,
the Bucks they have Chris Middleton as a third. I think I trust Dame and Giannis in the playoffs more than I trust Maxey and Embiid. And so even though the Bucks haven't been as good so far, I lean toward them.
Josh?
Same. Bucks. I think those guys, when you look at Dame and Giannis, I mean, like you said, Middleton is a third option. I think, they're not as good yet. But again, like we said, the Sixers are playing the Pistons or the Wizards every single game.
Yeah.
I think when it comes down to it, it'll be the Bucks will go further. Yeah.
I'm also going Bucks. I refuse to believe in the Sixers in any kind of postseason thing until they do it. At this point, I'm done. I can't. You gotta show me that you can make it past the second round, and maybe both will lose in the second round. You know, one of those teams is going to play the Heat. They just have to figure out who can avoid it. All right, plant your flag. Over under 3.5 weeks of suspension for Draymond Green. I will remind you that according to Shams Charania of The Athletic, that he reported on Monday morning that he's expected to be out at least 3 weeks with this counseling program and everything that's going on during the suspension. So, Jay King, over under 3.5 weeks that Draymond Green is out.
Under. I think this was a wink thing where the Warriors knew all along just how long he was going to be suspended. And the NBA basically told him, go along with this and have him go through the proper steps to come back to the court. But this will be a certain number of games. And the fact that now the 3 weeks number is out, it's going to be 3 weeks on the dot. He'll be back then and playing basketball again. And hopefully not smacking people or choking people.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll solve it. Josh?
Under, but I think the real over-under is under 4 weeks until he is suspended again or does something to get himself kicked out of a game again.
Under.
I think so. I do think he genuinely learned a lesson. Do you think this was like an actual learning opportunity for him, that for some reason this is the time after being in the league for, what is it now? 13 years, 13 years. This is the thing that has now changed who Draymond Green is as a person and a player. That's all he needed was this one. This was his wake-up call.
Let me bring you to the world of Bar Rescue, right? You know that show Bar Rescue?
Oh, absolutely. I've seen.
I know Bar Rescue. That is a brilliant show.
There's an episode where there's a bar in New York where there's like a lot of violence happening outside the bar and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's owned by 2 former boxers.
I remember that one.
And one of the boxers
I remember
is
him.
Severely alcoholic. Like has a real drinking
That's
problem.
I feel like 60 to 70% of Bar Rescue episodes.
Absolutely. Taffer comes in there. John Taffer, the host, comes in there, rescues the bar, shuts it down, rescues the bar, has them wearing suits, tells them to stop drinking, and like 2 days later they reopen after the stress test, and he's in a suit. He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm cured. Yes. That's not how alcoholism works. That's not how addiction works. That's not how counseling works. Taffer. No, that's just not how it works. And so if Draymond Green truly has these deep-seated issues that are causing violent behavior the way that I am to believe based on what the suspension and what the counseling is, I'm sorry, it takes more than 3 weeks of counseling to do this.
You can't – it has to be – he has to think that there's a problem for him to want to change, right? Just like you said with alcoholism, with any addiction – right, whatever it is, like you have to be the
any
one
trauma that you're dealing with. Like
I have an issue, I need to work on it. Do we actually think he thinks he has a problem? I think he's a everybody's wrong but
Yeah.
me person.
I agree.
So my only thing is, like, for a long time, most of his stuff crossed the line, but it wasn't like too crazy. Like, it was like a flailing kick. It was,
You could kind of understand it in the flow
yeah,
of the game.
yeah.
Like,
It was like,
he tried to
I
draw
mean,
the foul.
He kicked
and
Steven Adams in the
it's
nuts
like
repeatedly. I don't
yeah,
know,
he
man.
did.
That's-
but it was
he went on
mostly
a tear there.
it was
You
at
could
least
see-
mostly basketball-ish stuff. It
Sure.
wasn't like,
But
Yeah.
recently it hasn't been. Like, he's
recently
all of a
it's
sudden
gotten
crossed
super
into a
violent,
new territory.
and
Yeah.
the punch of Poole, the choke of Gobert, the smack of Nurkic,
The stomp of Sabonis.
the
Yeah.
stomp of Sabonis, like, all that stuff is just next level,
Yes.
unexplainable. And so before, I could kind of see why he'd be like, you know what? I really don't have a problem. I flirt with the line, but I cross it sometimes, but I'm powering my team. They need
I'm
my
me.
energy. But now it's like all this stuff is destroying his team. And so if
Yeah.
he is the team player that he says he is, he needs to change.
But I don't think I don't think he believes what he's doing is destroying the team. I think in his mind he's going to look at it as like they need a spark. I'm that spark. I'm the guy that's going to get us toughness. And if
But
I
you
don't
gotta
do
be
it,
out
you know what
there.
like
You got to be out
But
there.
but you'd think, okay, so he
But up
stomps
until the season,
Sabonis.
he has been out there, right?
Right. And he stomps Sabonis. You're like, maybe that's a wake-up call. No.
Mm-mm.
Punches Poole. Maybe that's a wake-up call. No. Chokes Gobert. Maybe that's a wake-up call. No. Hits Nurkic. Maybe that's a wake-up call. Why is this the one that's going to make the difference?
Because nobody knows what the word indefinitely means.
Well, it's a
People
PS
see
word that
suspended
just,
indefinitely like, oh shit, they threw the hammer down on it. And like, no, it just means they haven't made a decision.
right.
I mean,
Which
it
I
like
think-
that's
yeah.
the league office saying we know we have to do something right now, but we haven't come to a conclusion. Which, by the way, for some of this stuff might be the right way to approach it. You know, of like, hey, we actually need to like dig into this more than a day and figure out if we're going to make a suspension or what suspension we're going to make. But mostly just people on the internet don't know what the word indefinitely means.
But I think a number carries more weight. I think
I
it's
agree.
saying
I
he's
agree.
suspended 15 games
Yeah.
says more than indefinitely. It's kind of like a parent being like, hey, you're grounded. I don't know how long yet.
Yeah.
And
just
then
go
it
to your
gives them
room.
the chance, because then they have a cop out of like, yeah, just go to your room. They have a cop out of after a little bit, like, well, you've been pretty good, so
Yeah.
we're gonna cut it short.
Yeah.
But the kid is grounded. Of course, he's
A lot of
been good.
parenting from Josh today. A lot of parenting
Yeah,
in
I'm
his
getting.
analysis.
That's what the people tune in for. That's what the people tune in for. The parenting advice. Can we shift the focus of this
Yeah.
podcast?
Yeah, we'll shift away from Jay's love of white players to your love of parenting. All right, next one. Plant your flag. Agree or disagree? Keegan Murray, who just hit 12 threes in a game the other night, should have gone third in the 2022 draft. Jay.
Yeah.
Strong take.
Keegan Murray, I'll tell you what, I thought he was going to be just a role player, and I'm starting to think he might have more than that. I was shocked when he had.
Have you watched the Kings this? He's been terrible.
No.
He can't make
Hold
a
on.
shot.
No, he hasn't been terrible, or no, you haven't been watching them.
Jay can't hear us.
I have been watching. I love the Kings. Hold on.
What's going on here? Walk us through this instead of.
I don't know what just
He's
happened,
flustered.
but the volume on in my headphones went down like 15 decibels. I can't hear
Okay.
a single thing.
Okay.
So
So you're
Can
going to
we
go to your
start this
phone.
one again?
What
He's
do you-
on his
what do you-
phone.
What do you?
He's
what do you-
bored.
I think you should leave.
can
What
we
is the
start
guy's
this
name,
one again?
Barley?
I
Nope.
can't hear
You're
you.
just gonna yell at me.
Nope, they're just going to yell at me. No.
Nope.
My phone is always charged. I have the newest phone.
I have the newest phone.
I'm not worried about it. Josh, agree.
I
or
can hear now.
disagree?
I can hear now.
Agree or disagree that Keegan Murray should have gone third in the draft?
I disagree. I think
Yeah.
Jalen Williams should have gone number 3.
Agreed. Yes.
I think Jalen Williams should have been number 3. I think Keegan at 4 is still good.
That's actually a fact. I was wrong.
I think Keegan at 4 is still good, but Jalen should have gone 3.
I'm with
Jaden Ivey should not have been where he was.
I mean, the Pistons didn't even want him. That's how bad this Pistons.
I will say, just for the sake of talking more about it, like, situation is everything. It's so hard to look at a guy like and maybe him struggling, a top 10 pick struggling in one location and being like, oh, he didn't deserve to be drafted there, but he could have easily been picked one spot earlier, one spot later, and he might be the guy we're talking about should have gone number 3. Like, I think that gets lost on people. Is situation is everything, man. How many times do you see a player ride the bench and then they get traded and all of a sudden everybody's like, oh man, we had no idea this guy was this. Well, yeah,
Josh,
look at a different team.
Look at Andrew Wiggins, right? Like,
for sure.
Goes to the Wolves, has a new head coach like every single season, and like is just infected with bad basketball culture. And they move him. And maybe, and I'm not saying he wasn't part of the problem. Like, he needed to be better and everything, but moves him. And within like a year, they get the Wolves out. They get the Minnesota Wolves out of him. And now he's playing Warriors basketball, and he helps them win a championship. Like,
Aaron Gordon, Aaron Gordon, very similar situation.
That Magic team was so bad, man.
Situation based, right? Like, would Jalen Williams be as good if he was on a different team? Who knows? Would Keegan Murray be better if he was on a different, like, who knows? I think it's tough to say. I think people I get so mad, and I think you guys do too, when you see people talk about like, oh, this guy sucks. This guy that was drafted 8th overall, he sucks. Like, well, he's really good, but there's countless players who just fall out of the league just because of where they're at.
And
to be fair, it's confusing that Kevin Knox is still around. No offense to him.
Kevin Knox, I mean, the Pistons just like signing him over and over again.
They do. They love signing him. But they need Taffer to go in there and shut it down.
I kind of want to go back to the Ivy thing because it's so weird to me. Like, you pick a dude in the top 5, you have no real prospects at his position unless you want to call Cade a point guard, which I guess they're kind of trying to. What about
Killian Hayes?
That's exactly what I'm saying. With Killian Hayes, it's time to move on from that. Just let Jaden Ivey try. They have lost 20-something straight games. They have nothing to hope for, nothing to dream of.
But Jay,
and they will not start Jaden Ivey. They will not play him big minutes. Like, why?
Jay, you forget. You know why? Because you forget that the Suns went 8-0 in the bubble. So Monty Williams definitely knows what he's doing.
Yeah, once the bubble starts, the Pistons are going to be
All right, let's go to the last one. Plant your flag. Do you play Christmas music in the car? We'll start with Josh on this one.
1,000% no. I'll play Christmas music. We played Christmas music in my house the other day while we were decorating a tree. But right now I was venting to my wife about just how upset I'm getting about how everywhere I'm going I'm hearing Christmas music right now.
Yeah,
I like it. I think
you don't like it. You can't say I'm venting to my wife.
I like it. Hold on, I like it in a certain context.
No, Jay, you know what
I like it in certain context.
He's like, I like it. He asked himself a question. He didn't even say.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
I can't believe
context. I like
that he goes home and he bitches to his wife about how Christmas music is.
My life is not exciting,
like,
man. I don't have a lot to be upset about right now. So I don't have a lot to be upset about. So I don't have a lot to complain about.
Yeah, you got to remember, Jay, this is one of the highlights of his week is recording with us.
Babe, you will never guess what I'm pissed about today.
I already know the answer to this, but Jay King, plant your flag. Do you play Christmas music in the car?
Yep, I do.
What?
Yeah,
that's an upset. Wow, I did not expect that.
When my wife is in the car,
you're super pretty.
I won't do it by myself, but You know what's a great Christmas album? NSYNC's Christmas album is legit. Even Josh would like that one.
It's really good.
Jay, you know what vibe you give off, man? Is New Kids on the Block vibe. I don't know why.
No, I look like one of the dudes from New Kids on the Block. Danny Wood
and the Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yeah.
Look up Danny Wood. I look exactly like Danny Wood. It's kind of sad.
For you or him?
Specifically Mark Wahlberg's behavior in the 90s.
Yeah, there's a lot of Marky Mark vibes.
A lot of that.
Yeah. So someone, when I was in college, someone thought I was Danny Wood one time.
Oh shit!
And legitimately thought like they ran into a former star, and it was me. So
you said, "No, I'm a future star."
Exactly.
I'll plant my flag. I absolutely listen to Christmas music in the car. Oh my god, are you kidding me? I fucking love Christmas music. Yeah, man.
Okay, so what is your favorite Christmas song? You got to put one you throw on.
I Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I like belting that out in the car. I like belting out a lot of them in the car, like because they're just good. Like I fancy myself. Like I think in another life I could have been an opera singer. Like I think I have that ability. I also believe that if you gave me 6 months to train, I could be an Olympic archer. Like I truly believe that. So I think if you gave me like a year to train my voice for opera, I could be a solid, like respectable opera singer. So I like belting out songs in the car. Christmas songs are the best for belting out in the car. Like I'm here for it. Yeah.
And so Jay, what about you? Is it on the NSYNC's Christmas album?
You know what? Silent Night is my go-to. I just love
classic.
Yeah.
It just sets a weird tone
hold on,
in
Josh,
your
hold
car,
on,
though.
Josh, hold on.
Oh yeah, sorry, keep it going.
Let's see where this goes.
Holy night.
Now I have no idea if we need the rights to this to play it, but
that's it. That's all I got.
You don't know the next line, yeah? Okay,
I know the line. I just don't want to keep singing. I have a terrible voice.
You don't know the next line? Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's all you.
Prove you know the next line.
Quake.
No, wrong. Incorrect.
Now you're doing
clearly your favorite song.
Virgin's mother and child. Holy in.
Are you trying to not have your wife hear you? What's going on? You're getting quieter.
It starts super loud at the beginning of it, like a stanza, and just gradually.
I could not be an opera singer, guys.
Happy holidays to everyone celebrating. Make sure you open up all your Christmas presents on Christmas Eve. Go the Josh Hustis way. And make sure you're belting out Christmas music in the car. Make sure you subscribe to The Athletic. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Subscribe to The Bounce. You get the best coverage of everything right there from the old internet. For Josh Hustis, for Jay Wahlberg, I'm Zach Harper. Happy holidays and keep it locked on The Athletic.